Hello there. So now to have a little break from all these bodywork videos, I like to tell you a story, of course again related to bodywork and massage. It's a quite inspiring story, it's one of my favorites, and it often can give you a lot of inspiration in your practice as to the reasons why you practice. Some of you might have heard it, but I'm sure those that haven't might enjoy it as much as I do, hopefully. Here we go. In ancient Japan, there was a young woman who had been recently given in marriage to another family. And if we look back at our past in Europe, but particularly in the East, when a woman was married or given in marriage, because it was given in marriage in those days, it wasn't a choice, she had to go and live in the house of her in-laws, which means she was not just living with her husband, but she was living with her in-laws and all their families. And this often implied quite a sacrifice for the young woman, because not only she had to look after her husband, but she had to look after her in-laws, particularly her mother-in-law. And often that was a cause of conflict, also due because the mother-in-law was commonly unhappy, with the daughter-in-law, always saying they're lazy, she's not good enough, she's not really doing her best, waste of time, and so forth. Probably because that's how she was treated when she was a young woman and recently married. So anyhow, this young lady began to really suffer of this situation. So one day she heard that nearby there was a Zen Buddhist monk. So she didn't know very much about Buddhism, but she had heard that they had magical powers. So she decided to go to the monk, and she did, and she explained to him her situation and how much she was suffering. So she requested him, can you please give me or teach me a method whereby I can cause her slow death in a way that nobody can accuse me or know that I'm the cause of it. Because you would really help me greatly to get rid of this cause of suffering in my life. So the monk thought for a little bit, and then he said to her, yes, I've got exactly what you want, what you require. I will teach you a massage, and you have to perform it on her nearly every day. And you will see that after a series of weeks, she will begin to weaken, to get sick, and then she'll die. And nobody will know that it was because your massage. So he taught her these techniques, and the young woman happily went home, and to the great surprise of her mother-in-law, she offered her a massage. So they started having a massage nearly every day. I mean, the young woman was giving her mother-in-law a massage nearly every day. And lo and behold, after a few weeks, what happened was that they both started liking each other. They started feeling a lot easier with one another. They, instead of bickering and fighting, they became supportive, understanding. So suddenly the young woman realized that I don't want my mother-in-law to die. Actually, I love her. I mean, I'm very happy with her. So she ran back to the Buddhist monk and she said, look, Reverend, I'm so sorry to have asked you such a wicked thing. Please, can you teach me now a way to reverse the ill effects of what I've done? Because actually I now find that I really like my mother-in-law and that we get along so much better. Of course, the monk smiled and he said, look, I never meant for you to hurt your mother-in-law. Of course, this method I gave you was to achieve exactly what you have achieved, that you both get along and that you both have support and love for one another. And so the daughter-in-law went back home happily, and of course the situation kept on improving. So it's a simple story, but once you assimilate it, you can see how you can apply it, first of all, in your personal life and in your practice as well. Thanks for hearing. Hope you have enjoyed it.